Fourth book critique. This week I decided to focus on another genre and I chose multicultural books. Four of the books I read this week were Saturday Market, written by Patricia Grossman and Enrique O. Sanchez. The genre is multicultural. It's a picture book, and it is intended for grade levels 1 to 4. This book is about a multitude of characters that go to the Saturday Market, and they bring different kinds of ethnic foods or items of clothing, and it goes through how they sell it, who they encounter, and it starts with the same character and ends with the same character, and it's a very circular story, and it does have a lot of Spanish language in it. Second book I read is Stregonona, written and illustrated by Tomi DePaola. Its genre is multicultural, picture book, and fairy tale. It's intended for grade levels 1 to 4, and it's a Caldecott honor book from 1976. This book is about Stregonona, which means grandmother witch, and she has a magical pot that cooks pasta, and one day when she's out of town, Big Anthony decides that he's going to use it, but he doesn't remember exactly how to stop it, so everything gets out of control. This book takes place in a Calabrian town in Italy, and it has some Italian words in it. Third book I read is The Girl Who Loved Wild Horses by Paul Gobel. The genre is multicultural, and it's a picture book. It's intended for grade levels 1 to 4, and it's a Caldecott Medal winner from 1979. This book is about a Native American girl who has a love for wild horses, so one day she decides to go off with them and just travels the countryside. She does visit her family every once in a while, but is a story about how she becomes one with the horses. Fourth book I read is The Lotus Seed, written by Sherry Garland. It's illustrated by Tatsuro Kiyuchi, and the genre is multicultural and picture book. It's intended for grade levels 1 to 4. This is a very emotional story about a Vietnamese family that ends up leaving Vietnam during the devastating Civil War. However, their beacon of hope is a lotus seed, and it begins with the grandmother, and then she thinks that this lotus seed is lost, and they don't see this beacon of hope anymore, and then it does reappear, and it's passed on in her family, and it's a very beautiful story. But my featured text is Elena's Serenade, written by Campbell Geeslin. It's illustrated by Anna Juan. The genre is multicultural. It's a picture book and a fable, and it's intended for grade levels 1 to 4. I love this story because it's about a little girl named Elena who wants to become a glassblower like her father, but women were not glassblowers in this time period. So her father tells her that she cannot be one, or it's not possible. So she decides that she's going to do it anyway. So she puts on her brother's coveralls and goes to Monterey. And along the way, she meets a various amount of animals whom she helps in some way. And because she helps them, they tell her, oh, you helped me, you can do anything in life. So she ends up getting to Monterey, and she uses her musical skills to create these beautiful glass figurines of stars, and there's a bird. And she does this through music, and they're all traditional Spanish songs. And then she comes back and shows her father, and he finally believes that she can do anything that she sets her mind to. It's a very beautiful story. I loved it. That leads me to my first lesson, which is a thank you rap. So first, the students are going to read the text. Then they're going to be instructed to write a rap thanking someone who has helped them overcome some hardship in their life, whatever it may be. This is kind of like their farewell to high school. Each rap has to contain at least 3 literary devices, and they have to be used correctly. Students are going to use either GarageBand if we're using Mac computers or Music Maker Jam if we're using Windows computers to create a musical arrangement. There's a variety of genres they can choose from. I chose dubstep. You can choose 70s, 80s, 60s, modern, punk, funk. It's very fun to do. And then after they record their vocals over these, they're going to be submitted electronically through a site like Edmodo, which I have used before. So my thank you rap is called To Whom It May Concern. I'm just going to quickly read it. Endless hours spent in the basement, you were the one who helped me overcome it. It was the abrasiveness of my being, constantly scaring people, I saw them fleeing. I was labeled unapproachable like a bear in a cave. You told me they were wrong, and ultimately I was saved. I learned to walk tall, taller than the mountains, my head in the clouds, sipping from the fountain. The fountain is for those that finally see all that I can be. I learned to be strong, stronger than a bull. My heart was empty, and now it is full. So my 3 literary devices were simile, hyperbole, and alliteration. There is a link at the bottom if you'd like to go see my rap. It is not good. I'd like to warn you. I'm not a rapper, but I did have a lot of fun doing it. It's kind of like a goofy little assignment they can do as seniors, because as seniors, their kind of mindset is like, I'm ready to get out of here. So I thought it was a little break from the constant regularity of lessons. So this is just a little still from the site. Like I said, it's a little easy to navigate. I'd be there to guide, obviously. That's why I tried it out first. You can change all of the instruments. You can add vocals, but they're very few and far between, and you have to do that on the phone. That's why I recorded my voice separately with the music playing in the background, which was a little difficult, but it was still feasible. And like I said, you can choose any genre you want and have a lot of fun making it. My second lesson is going to be a personal dictionary. So first, students are going to read the text, then they're going to have to create 3 new words that are not in the English dictionary, provide 3 antonyms and synonyms that already exist to help guide the definition. They have to include the part of speech and write a sentence using it correctly. Then the class is going to be divided in half, and each group will have to combine all their words together and make a master list. Then they're going to swap with the other group. They're going to have probably about a week to study the words, and then about 15 from their list are going to be chosen, and they're going to conduct a vocabulary test. And it's kind of a reversal of roles. It's going to let them see what it's like to be the teacher, and it'll give them a little bit of responsibility before they head off into their future endeavors, and it will just kind of make them appreciate vocabulary a little more. And then my 3 words are that I created. Grunkle, which is to sign in an angry manner. So sentence, a little girl grunkled after her mother told her to clean her room. Sweck, a noun, something boring. Mr. Toke is a sweck because he just stands there and talks without interaction. And holtrop, which is an adjective, which means wholesome and endearing. And the sentence is, the holtrop man defended his girlfriend who was being targeted for her looks. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for listening as always.